Hi, my name is Caitlin Henke. I'm a Career Development Facilitator at UNM's Office of Career Services. Today I would like to talk to you about career planning for students and how parents and guardians can get involved and hopefully aid in the future success of their students. So today's webinar is going to be a short, fast guide. It's not going to be everything, but I would like everyone to know that we are always available for further questions as well as helping you to identify additional resources. Our contact information will be available at the end of the webinar, so let's get started. So on today's agenda, we're going to be first talking about the career development process, what that looks like and what's involved, and then we're going to break it down year by year. So first tips for freshman year all the way to senior year, and I'm going to end the webinar with some additional resources that I believe will be helpful for you. So like this said, this is really quite an adventure. We would like you to know that we think communication is key, and we would like to invite you to stay connected with us. We're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We have a really active website as well. So I welcome you to follow us and join us, and also to ask you to encourage your students to stay connected. So this really is a new adventure, not only for your student, but for you as well. And the question I get a lot is, what if my student doesn't have a clue as to what he or she wants to major in, let alone chooses a career? And what I always tell them is, don't worry. This is not unusual. Even if you might wish that your student had a little more sense of direction, this is very normal, and we are here to help. So let's talk about the career development process. So what you need to know is that choosing a career or choosing a major is a process for everyone. All students will go through the stages of this process, but maybe at different times, in different speeds, or in different order. So let's talk about the steps that are included in this process, and I'm going to break them down into 4 of them. The first one being self-exploration. This is when we're looking at interests, personality, values, skills, and abilities. So really getting a picture of who that student is and where they would really fit the best. The second piece, after you know a little bit more about yourself, is really doing the research. So exploring all the possible majors here at UNM, career options that you can do with those majors, maybe doing some informational interviewing, talking with advisors, CDFs, and really narrowing down the options. The third piece is about gaining some experience. So the way we encourage students to do this is by taking part in cooperative education agreements, internships, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, maybe joining some professional or student associations, taking additional courses and classes, and really networking and getting a picture of what it really looks like when you're doing it. The fourth piece is really about making a decision and organizing the next step. So whether that's job search or going on to graduate school, deciding from other alternatives, or even realizing that that wasn't a fit and you may need to make some adjustments and go back and try some new things. What we really want students to know is that career development is flexible. It's not absolute and it's not final. So we just briefly talked about the career development process. It may be hard to identify exactly where your student is in this process, but what I would like you to know is we can help at any and every stage. Please check us out at www.career.u. Freshman year, tips for parents of first-year students. Freshman year is really allowing students to try out that college experience. During their first year or so of college, students will be involved, whether it's formally or informally, in assessing their own skills and abilities, their interests, and their values. Your student will do this through finding success, or maybe even failure, in the courses that they take, involvement in campus activities, discussions with their friends and faculty and advisors, and generally being exposed to and trying out different ideas and experiences. Most students come into college with a very limited knowledge of the extensive array of classes and majors that are available to them. As they gain experience and investigate their options, even those who entered in with an intended career plan or major may be drawn to different options. That's okay. This is exactly what they should be doing. So here's what you can do to help. Support your students' exploration of new areas of study and interest. This, after all, is what education is all about. Affirm what you know to be areas of skill and ability that he or she has consistently demonstrated. Sometimes students overlook these and need to be reminded. Talk with your student about courses and activities that he or she is enjoying. Students discover new things about themselves throughout the college experience. Your willingness to listen and be a sounding board will keep you in the loop. Don't panic if your student is excited about majoring in something like anthropology or philosophy or art. These can be excellent choices, particularly if they are a good match for the student's interests and skills. Support your students' responsible involvement in campus activities, but encourage that this be balanced with maintaining academic achievement. And finally, urge that your students seek assistance from the Office of Career Services. We can help them with defining their skills, abilities, interests, personalities, and values. Sophomore year. So let's talk about tips for parents and guardians of second-year students. So generally during the second year of college is when a student really begins to explore major and career options more seriously. So here's what you can do to help. First, don't insist that a decision be made about a certain major or career choice immediately. But if you sense that your student's indecision is a barrier to their progress, encourage them to seek assistance from career services, faculty, and their academic advisors. Students often have difficulty making the final choice because they fear that they may close off options or even make the wrong choice. So for help on what you can do with your major, check out www.career.unm.edu/students/major. Second, don't assume that if your student chooses to major in something like philosophy or some other impractical major, that he or she will never get a job. Liberal arts studies sharpen skills which are critical to the package employers are seeking. Strong written and oral communication skills, problem-solving skills, and excellent researching skills are just a few. Third, encourage informational interviews. Direct your students to family, friends, or people in their network, your network, who are in the field that they have an interest in, and support them in talking to these professionals. Remind your student about the opportunities on campus, such as on-campus recruiting, information sessions, and career fairs, in order to better connect them with the professional world. The Alumni Office also has a great mentorship database where current students can build relationships with alumni in their chosen field. These resources are invaluable, both in this exploratory stage and later as students are seeking internships and jobs. So check out www.unmalumni.com/mentor. Junior year. Junior year is all about experience. It is important for students to experiment with possible career options. They can do this through a variety of different ways. Internships, part-time and full-time jobs, volunteer experiences, even taking some additional classes. So here's what you can do to help them at this stage. First, encourage your student to use all the resources available at the Office of Career Services. Our career development facilitators will assist your student in preparing a good resume and finding some good opportunities in their fields. Second, tell your student that you understand the importance of gaining exposure and experience in his or her field. Broadening experience through involvement outside the classroom is a valuable use of time. Internships or summer experiences in some very competitive fields may be non-paying, and also a good opportunity may be in a distant location. So discussing your financial expectations with your students before a commitment is made is crucial. And last, don't conduct the internship or summer job search for your student. It's great to help provide networking contacts or names of people who may be helpful. However, making the contact and speaking for your student deprives him or her of an important learning experience. And this may even make a poor impression on the future employer. All right, senior year. So here's some tips for parents and guardians of graduating seniors. The senior year is when the organizing and conducting a job search or graduate school search really begins. But it is also a time when students are heavily involved in more advanced courses in their majors and often have more responsible roles in campus and or volunteer activities. Balancing these important pursuits and setting priorities is a constant challenge for seniors. You are probably anxious for this young adult to make a decision, and yet he or she may be moving more slowly than you would wish, but there are a number of ways that you can lend support during this challenging times. Encourage your student to use the Office of Career Services. We can help with the following during this stage: workshops and individual appointments to help with resume and cover letter writing, interviewing and other job search skills, graduate school search and the application process, career advising, including negotiating that big job offer, providing print and online resources, on-campus interviewing opportunities, career fair information, and etiquette information. Also, students should get connected with UNM Career Match and Liberal Career Connection. They both have current job listings, employer contacts, and upcoming events. Next, try not to nag your student about not having a job yet. This will often have the reverse effect. Try to use positive reinforcement. Offer to assist by sending information you may have found about the career field of your student's choice and/or job listings that may be of interest. Listen for indications from the student that you are getting carried away, and then maybe back off. Don't call potential employers and intervene for your child. Contact with the potential employers is the candidate's responsibility. Be prepared to support your child through the ups and downs of the job and graduate school search. It can be a bumpy road. Not every desired job or graduate school acceptance will come through. Your student will need reassurance that for every door that closes, another one will open. I just have a few final thoughts. In the college years, it's really a time of exploration and experimentation and learning on so many levels, not just for students, but for parents and guardians as well. Some student challenges may seem more positive than others, but they all contribute to the educational outcomes of the university experience. Throughout these years, students are developing a record of achievement, which will be evaluated on by employers and graduate schools as they move beyond college. There are several pieces to this record, and I'd like to briefly leave you with these. First one is academic achievement. Although it is not, and it should not be, the primary factor in determining a candidate's success, the grade point average, GPA, is one factor considered by competitive employers and graduate schools. It is one of the few tangible indications of a student's ability to learn and perform effectively, at least in an academic environment. Therefore, students need to do as well as possible in the classroom, especially in the courses that are within their majors. Second one is responsible work experience. In today's competitive employment market, many employers seek students who have related internship, summer co-op education, part-time job, or volunteer experiences. In fact, employers often look to their own such programs as primary sources for their new hires. These experiences are particularly critical for liberal arts students whose majors may not appear to be directly related to their areas of career interest. And last, responsible involvement outside the classroom. Extracurricular activities provide an opportunity for students to gain many valuable career-related skills, such as the ability to work effectively with others in a team environment, leadership, planning and organizational skills, and priority setting and time management. These are part of the package of skills that employers seek in their new hires. So thank you so much for listening. I wish you the very best of luck in navigating this challenge. And please don't forget to connect with us, whether on our webpage, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and following this slide will be our contact information. Thank you so much.